My name is Heather, and today I'm going to show you how to create an EPUB file for your children's book. You might have gotten the email from Amazon KDP saying that Mobi files won't be accepted after March 18th. So because of that, I decided to create an updated video for how to create your EPUB file. It's a lot like the one I already made, but there are a few just little changes and updates. To start, we're going to need to take all of our 2-page spreads and put them into one single image. And the reason why we need to do that is because the way that e-readers display books is just one page at a time. So if you have spreads in your book, you're going to need them to display as a single page. If each of your pages is a standalone page that doesn't need the other page next to it, if every single page of your book is like that, then you can skip this step. But if you have even just one spread, then you're going to want to do this for all the pages in your book. I'm going to do it in Canva just to make it easier and accessible for you. But if you want to use a different program, then you can. So I'm going to click Create a Design, and I'm going to go to Custom Size, and I'm going to pick inches. And here I want it to be the size of what a spread would be, so 2 times the page size. So for example, my book is 8.5 by 8.5, and when you add bleed to it, then the actual dimensions are 8.625 wide by 8.75 high. So you're just going to want to take your page dimensions with bleed. So whatever that is, you can even just look at your file in Canva or Photoshop or whatever you created it in and just look at the dimensions. And you're just going to want to multiply the width times 2. So my dimensions are 8.625. So I'm going to multiply that by 2, and that's 17.25. So we'll do 17.25 by 8.75. Because 8.75 is the height of my page with bleed. And now I'll click Create New Design. I'll also rename my project here. So I'll do Platy's Perfect Day ebook. So this is going to be the size of a spread. And as you can see, when a person is viewing the children's book, they'll most likely be rotating their ebook or their phone to a horizontal position to be able to view the spread. So now I'm going to upload my PDF for my children's book. So I'm going to go to Uploads, Upload Files, and I'm going to grab that PDF, and I'll click Open. And you're going to want to make sure that this PDF that you're uploading is a flattened PDF, because if it's not flattened, then you're going to have a bunch of little elements that you're going to have to move around, and it's going to be a huge pain. So if you exported this from Canva, then you're going to want to make sure you checked flatten. And if you created it in Photoshop, then you're going to want to make sure that you uncheck the layers option. So now that this is uploaded, I'm just going to click on it. And these are going to be all the pages in my book. And now I need to set these pages into the ebook 2 at a time so that it's a bunch of spreads. So I found that Canva is kind of weird with inserting PDF pages. If I click on one and then I click on the other to insert it, then it actually gets rid of the first one that I put there. So one thing that I found you can do is click on one and then click on it and do Command or Control X to cut it so it goes onto your clipboard of your computer. Then I'll click on the second page that I want to insert, and then I'll do Command or Control V to paste that first one that I had grabbed. And now you can set these next to each other. You can arrange these first pages however you want. You can either do like your title page here, like I have with the copyright to the right, or you can do your title page in the middle and then do add page, and then you can do your dedication like on the left or the right, and do the copyright page next to it. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to click on the copyright page and put it here, and then I'll paste. So this way I have the title page in the middle, and then I have these two next to each other. So it's up to you how you want to arrange that. Or you could even just get rid of the title page altogether because you're going to have a cover anyways. I think I'm going to do that because my title page is the same as my cover, so I'm just going to delete that. And now I'm going to add a page, and I'm going to do my next two pages. So I'm going to have this one, and then I'm going to cut, and I'll do my second one, and then I'll paste. So I'm going to have this one on the left and the other one on the right. And then I'll do add page, and I'm just going to continue this for the rest of the book. For my last page, it's just one page, so I'm just going to set it in the middle here. And now I have all of my pages done. So now I'm going to export each of these as images. So I'm going to go to Share, Download, and I'm going to do a JPEG because that's going to make it download quickly. But I'm going to put the quality to 100. But if you don't have Canva Pro, then you can download as a PNG and just do size 1. That should be a big enough size for your ebook. But I'm going to do JPEG so that it'll be quicker to download. And I'll just keep the size at 1 because 2000 pixels wide is pretty good. And again, make sure the quality is at 100. And I'm going to do all of the pages. And I'll click download. It's going to get downloaded to your computer as a zip file, so you'll want to double click on that to open it if you're on a Mac, or I believe if you're on Windows, you'll need to right click on the zip file and pick extract all. So now I have all these images here for my book, and now we can start creating our EPUB file. So to do that, I'm going to use Sigil and PageEdit. Sigil is going to be the EPUB editor, and then PageEdit is going to let you easily drop in images. And we're going to dive a little bit into HTML, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible, and you'll only need to know the bare minimum. I also have a template on my website in my product listings, and you can buy that for $5 if you want to do that. So you can go to sigil-ebook.com and download and install both of these. So you'll just click on the sigil icon and then click download. And you'll just want to pick whichever one goes with what computer you have. So mine would be the Mac. And I'll just find that file that downloaded and I'll double click on it. Or in Windows, you'll probably right click and do extract all. And then since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to take this Sigil 2 and I'm going to move it to my applications. So now I have it here in my applications. After that, I'll go back to the Sigil website and I'm going to click on Page Edit and download. And I'll download the Mac one for me. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll just double click on it to extract it. And then I'll just move it to my applications. So I just opened up Sigil, and as you can see, it started a brand new file for me. So I'm just going to save this. So I'll go to File, Save As, and I'm just going to find somewhere on my computer that I want to keep it. I'm going to create a new folder for it, and I'll call this Platy EPUB. And then I'll go in that folder and I'll call this Platy. And I'll click Save. Now I need to link Sigil and PageEdit together. so that we'll be able to edit our pages in PageEdit and edit them in Sigil and have the two programs work together. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on Sigil Preferences because I'm on a Mac, and I believe that if you're on Windows, you'll probably go to File Preferences or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Preferences, and I'm going to go to General Settings on the left here. And down here where it says Set Your Preferred External XHTML Editor, I'm going to click Browse, and I'm going to find the PageEdit program. And I have it right here in Applications. If it's hard for you to find, at least on a Mac anyways, you can type in the search box up here, and you'll find it wherever it is there. So then I'm just going to click Open, and then I'm going to click OK. So now those two are linked. So when I want to make a change in this file, I'll be able to click the little XHTML button right here to open it up in PageEdit. I'm going to give you a little overview of what you're going to see in Sigil. Over on the left, you have your book browser. And in this text folder right here is where each of the pages of your book is going to be. So right now there's one page in the book. In the styles folder, we're going to put a CSS file in there. And then in the images folder, that's where you're going to put all of your images. The rest you don't really have to worry about. That's kind of for more advanced stuff and stuff we're not going to go over in this video. This toc.ncx is going to be your table of contents file, and that's going to be automatically generated by Sigil. And then the content is going to include everything in your book. So it'll list like all of your images and files and stuff like that. And that is also generated by Sigil. And when you have pages over here in the text folder, you can rename them. So you can right click on a page and do rename. And you can also put them in a different order. So you can drag and drop them and all that. So whatever order they show up here in the text folder is the order that they're going to be in your book. The first thing we're going to do is add our images to the image folder. And this way we'll be able to access our images. So I'm going to right click on the images folder and do add existing files. And then I'm going to find those files that I downloaded from Canva. And now I'm going to select those images and I'll click open. So now if we look in the images folder, we have all of these images here. And then we're also going to need to upload our cover image. And when you created your cover image for your regular book, not the ebook form, you probably did the front cover and the back cover together since it wraps around the book. But you're going to need a version of your cover that's just the cover. So you'll want to save that out from wherever you designed your cover. You'll just want to save it out as a JPEG or a PNG. So I have mine saved out, so I'm going to right click on images again and do add existing files. And I have my cover image right here, so I'm going to select that. And now if I go into my images folder, you can see this is my cover image that I had uploaded. I can also view it by just double clicking on it and it'll show up here. So whatever is right here is just what we're viewing. So we have our page here and we can see the HTML on the page, and this is section 0001, that's that file. And this is the cover image file. So this is really just like your previewing area, and also you can edit in here as well if you edit the HTML. So I'm going to click on the cover image here in the file list, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to select cover image. And that's going to mark it as the cover image for the book, so that when someone buys your ebook and it shows up in their little digital bookshelf, it'll have the cover of your book there. And if you right click on it again, you can see that there's a little check mark here. So you can tell that it's marked as the cover image. Let's go ahead and select our first page up here. And as you can see, we're editing it here. But if it wasn't here, we could just double click on it to open it up in the right here. So I'm going to edit this in PageEdit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this little X up here. And that's going to open up PageEdit. So here's PageEdit. And as you can see, this drop down right here is going to have all the pages in it that are in your book. If we go back over to Sigil and add more pages here, then in PageEdit, we are going to need to close out PageEdit and reopen it, because otherwise it's not going to recognize the new files. So just FYI. Let's go ahead and add the image for the first page of the book. So I'm going to click on the image button here. And these are all of those images that we uploaded. 1.jpg is the first one that I made. So I'll make sure that's selected and I'll click OK. And as you can see, this is really big, but we're going to fix that with some CSS. So I'm just going to save this. And then I'll go back to Sigil. And if you look in here, you can see that it added the image in here. So here's the image tag and the source, and this is where the image is located in the images folder, and it's 1.jpg. So we're going to add a style sheet. So let's right click on the styles folder here, and I'll select add blank style sheet. And inside this style sheet, which is now open right here, style0001.css, I'm just going to add some special styles for the images of the book. So I'm going to do img to target the image tag, because if we go back here, you see img right here in the HTML tag. So I'll do img, and then I'll put a beginning curly brace and an ending curly brace. And then inside here, I'm just going to do width and a colon and 100% and a semicolon. So now I'm going to save this. And then we need to reference this style sheet in our HTML file. So I'm going to go to my section 0001.xhtml, and I'm going to go right above this ending head tag here. So you can see here's the beginning head tag, and the ending one has the slash right here. So I'm going to go right above that one. And I'm going to do a left caret and then link rel equals style sheet. And then we're going to add href equals and double quotes. And this is going to be where the style sheet is located. So we're going to do // which means go up a directory. So it's going to be in the root directory here. And then inside styles. And then the name of the file is style0001.css, and then end with a double quote. And then we'll also do type equals text/CSS. And then we're going to end it with a slash and a right bracket. So this is going to tell this file to pull styles from this style sheet. And now we can save that. And we can go to PageEdit. And as you can see, the image is still really big. So we're going to close out of PageEdit. And then I'll just open it back up by clicking on this X again. So now you can see that the image is exactly the width of the page. Now we can go ahead and add the rest of our pages. I'm going to go back into Sigil, and I'm going to duplicate this page. And that's because we already have our CSS tag in here, so we want this to be in all of the pages of the book. So that's why I'm going to just right click here and add copy. And I'll just keep doing that until I have enough for the book. And if I look in my images, I have 13 images here. It goes up to 13.jpg. So I'm going to add 13 pages here. Now you can see I have pages 1 through 13, and I'm going to double click on 2. And then from page 2, I can click on PageEdit here. And remember, it's not going to show up here because these are new pages that we just added. So I'm going to need to close out of this. and then click on the edit button again. And now we have all our pages here that we can edit. So in section 02, we're going to want that to be image 2 instead of image 1. So I can just click delete and add a new image here and pick image 2. And then I'll save it. And then you can go to 3. I'll delete this one out and I'll add image 3. And there is actually an even quicker way to do this if you want to go in and edit the HTML. So if I go over here and I click on the section 4, then in the HTML here, you can see where I have the reference to the image and it says images/1.jpg. I can just change that to 4.jpg. But you just have to be careful because if you mess up, you're not really going to be able to tell by looking at this that it's a broken link. Whereas in PageEdit, you can see when the image comes up. But I do think it is faster to just go through this way and just edit each of your files like this. So now I have all of that done, and I'll go ahead and close all these out. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and generate our table of contents. So I'm going to go to Tools, Table of Contents, Edit Table of Contents, and now we can add any important things that need to go in the table of contents. Right here we have the entry start and it has the first page, but my first page is actually my copyright page. So I'm going to double click on start and I'm going to name it copyright. And that's going to be that first page. And then I'm going to click add below to add a new page. And this one is going to be the start of the story. So I'll name it Platy's Perfect Day, the name of the book. And for the target, I'm going to click select target and I'm going to do page 2. So those are really the only 2 important parts of my book. So then I'm just going to click OK. Now we're going to add some metadata. So I'm going to click on this M up here, the metadata editor. And for the title, I'm going to enter the title here. And then we can do add metadata and we can pick all of this stuff that we can add. So I'm definitely going to do author and I'll put my name here. And if I had a contributor, like someone else who's an illustrator for the book or an editor or something like that, I could do contributor. And if you have an ISBN for your ebook, you can do that. I will add a description. And now I'm just going to click OK. And now I just need to validate the code in the EPUB. So I'm going to go to Tools, Well-Formed Check EPUB. And here it says no problems found. If it does find a problem in here, then make sure you read it because they are usually pretty self-explanatory. It might say something like there's a page in the table of contents that doesn't exist in the book, or there's like a reference to an image that doesn't exist or something like that. If you've been working in the book a lot and maybe deleting things and changing things, then you might end up with like a broken link or something. So just make sure you read it, and if it's really confusing, you can always email me at heather@heathercash.com, or you can add a comment below with your question, and I do always try to answer all of the questions in the comments of my videos. So now I'm just going to click save. Now I can preview my children's book in Kindle Previewer, which is free to download from Amazon. So I'm just going to click open book, and then I'm going to find my EPUB file and click open. And it's going to open in portrait view like this. But for children's books, the user is going to rotate the e-reader into landscape mode. So we're going to go over to orientation and click landscape. Now this is in landscape mode and we can just click through it and make sure everything looks good. And if you like how everything looks, then you're ready to upload your EPUB to your publisher, whether that's IngramSpark or Amazon KDP or whoever you're using. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Or as always, you can email me at heather@heathercash.com. And if you're working on your own children's book, join my Creativity Club on Facebook, where we share our projects and support each other and help each other to reach our creative goals. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.